Hello and welcome to my tarot channel. Today we are going to do a secret or hidden gift that you may have that you may or may not know about. It may be something that you're not that aware of and it's one of your gifts, or it might be even maybe one of your main gifts that you just let go to the wayside and you don't really practice or anything like that. So we will go through that, and what you're going to do is you're going to pick your piles 1 through 4, but the way you're going to do it is you're going to pick with the stones. This is stone 1, so it'll be pile 1, stone 2, pile 2, stone 3, pile 3, and stone 4, pile 4. So pick your stone, and whatever stone you pick as your pile. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, and this is pile 4. And I've already pre-mixed all of these cards, but I'm going to mix them one more time. And these right here aren't as important, but they might have to do with your gifts, so we will use these two. They're just from a little game thing, but these are your gifts right here. So I'm just going to mix these one last time. You've already picked your piles, so sorry, they're just kind of hard to get a hold of. So this is pile 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this one looks like 4. That one really good. Alright, and that one is 4. So I will do your reading now. I will flip them all over so you can see them and know which gift you got. You can fast forward to your reading if you would like. So for pile number 1, you got sports. So you might be a more athletic person than you know, or that might be something you're interested in. You might be good at knowing all the scores and knowing all the sports information, or you might be good at actually playing sports really well and you just haven't, or you're just not that aware, or you would have been really good at sports. But that might be one of your interests that you might have let fall to the wayside. For number 2, you got baking. So maybe you like to cook, but you don't cook enough, or you like to bake a lot and you're actually really good at that, and quite the artisan at that. Premonition. For number 3, you got premonition, which means you're good at knowing things. You're good at, it's not guessing, it's like you'll just know something. It's like a knowing where you know something, and other people a lot of times don't understand how you knew that. And sometimes we tell people those things and sometimes we don't. And when you're harder, it's definitely, when you're younger, it's definitely a hard thing to deal with, but it's like a knowing, or just knowing things, the gift of premonition. Knowing things ahead of time that other people don't know. That's a big one. And for number 4, you got art. So you might be good at art, drawing, painting, anything like that. Some of these things we might not know that we're super good at, or that it's our actual gift. And we may have not participated in one of our gifts. It's like a hidden, it could be a hidden gift or a secret gift, or it could just be something that you haven't practiced at enough, but you're actually really good at, like art, baking, sports, and one is the gift of premonition. So I'm going to do your reading now. And the reading is about the ways in which you can use your gift, or the ways that they manifest as well. So I'm going to start with pile 1. Alright, so I'm going to do pile 1 now, and you got sports. So we're going to do ways in which, this is your stone, ways in which your gift manifests itself. Dog is barking. Consciousness. The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. So maybe this is one that you're conscious of. This is something you really are interested in, and that's totally fine. You may be really, really good at stats, You may love to participate in sports, whether you're older or younger, and if you're older, you can still do that. They have like sports leagues, maybe, depending on what the sport is, or just getting family involved, or whatever, watching sports. But yeah, that's a really healthy thing to do sports, and this is something that you're probably gifted at. You're probably an athletic person, or more athletic, or are more athletic in general. And this is something that you're probably really interested in. And maybe you just haven't participated as much as you would have liked to in sports, and that's why it's more of like a secret or a hidden gift in a way. But any way to enjoy sports for you will be a great thing, because it's obviously one of your gifts, whether you're aware or not. But it looks like you might be somewhat aware. And I'm going to just pick a few of these, because these could be something important to do with your gift, but it's not really, these ones aren't really a huge deal, but I just thought they would be fun. So a historical figure, so maybe there's like you have like a certain sports figure that you like a lot, that's inspirational to you, that you could think of, and a famous person. So like I said, a famous person, a historical figure. You might have been really good at sports, or you could be really good at sports and not even have realized it. And you have these type of figures that maybe you were looking up to when you were younger, and you can still do it. You can still, enjoy that, whether you're older or younger. If you're younger, go for it. Definitely join whatever sports, because you definitely will be good at that. And obviously someone was an inspiration to you, a famous or historical figure. It could be you, and you're a sports star or something like that, but it's definitely sports for you. That is your talent, and that is your interest, is sports. One way you could bring that into the world, cards. So you got the Knight of Swords, aggression and rapidness. So participating in sports is a way to get your aggression out. So any kind of sports activities you can do now too would be great. Fast moving sports, any kind of sports that you like. I would say still participate no matter your age. Make sure you're still doing sports type activities, whether it be with your family or friends or whoever. That is something that will be important for you, and something that I would continue to do, with this being your cards. And your talent is sports, and you may have already known that. But yeah, it says, include it into your reality. So make sure you're still doing that in some form or the another, or another. If that is your, thing that you like, you got to keep at that. That's your actual talent. It's, it may not be a secret. It may be a secret, but it's definitely very obvious that this is something that is a talent of yours, and it should be obvious to everyone. You're probably a more athletic person, and you probably are interested in sports and sports stats as well. And if you're not, and if you let that fall to the wayside, especially if you're older, I'd say get back into that. It's probably just calling to you. It probably needs to be a part of your life. It's probably something that, being your talent, it is incredibly important to you, and you know it. So that is pile 1. For pile 2, I wrote on these, so they're kind of wearing off every time I touch them, but for pile 2, you got baking. So that makes me think of those baking shows where they make the cakes and everything else. You might be really good at that and artistic at that. A naturally good cook, a naturally good baker. That may be something that you don't do enough. I know a lot of days people go and get fast food and stuff like that, and people don't bake as much as they would like to. So it may be like a hidden thing or something you're not that aware of, but people might comment sometimes about how good your baking is. So I would say maybe continue to do that. Bake more, get more into it, be more creative with it. You may or may not be aware that this is one of your talents. So you got third eye chakra. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and inner knowing, our imagination, and our psychic powers. So I would say there's probably a part of you somewhere that knows kind of that you're better at baking than other people. Like in your inner knowing, you might know that, but it's not something you might want to admit to other people. But use your imagination with your baking. You can totally do that because you're so good at it. Like some people, they just try to throw things together, it comes out terrible, but you're probably just naturally talented where you can do that and it comes out good, and you know what you're doing just naturally. Like you're naturally good at it. It's something that you're just natural at, is baking. It just comes to you naturally. I would say. So it may be something that maybe you could do more of, I would say, and people may have or have not noticed, depending on how much you bake. But it's definitely, that could be another reason you wouldn't know. You wouldn't necessarily have it at the forefront, would be if you don't bake enough. But yeah, it makes me think of like Cake Boss and things like that. All right, so, and one of the ways that you can bring your talent into the world, and it just says wealth and family unity, which is the 10 of coins. So yeah, bake for your family and friends, definitely. Have bake sales, you know, I would say sell your stuff, but this is just about a secret talent that you have. But I would say bring it more to the forefront. It's something you're naturally good at. If you go to family events and things like that, or for your own family, definitely bake a lot. It's greatly appreciated. Absolutely, I'm sure that it is. I'm sure that people that you bake for, I'm sure they never complain, really. You're just a naturally good person at cooking and baking, and use your imagination more and everything else. And if someone's down and you feel like making something for them, you know, because you sense it or whatever, feel free to do that. People love food. They love it when people make something for them, no matter who they are. Everyone likes food. So I would say practice your skill more, practice your secret talent more. It's okay to be good at baking. No one's going to be mad. Everyone's going to be happy because people like good food. Unless you were doing a baking contest, then other people, if they lost, might be mad. But it is one of your secret talents, and I would say bring it more to the forefront. Start baking more. It would probably bring you more joy. And it says wealth and family unity. So it could be something you did it for a living, or do for a living, or would like to do for a living as well. And you do for your family a lot. And if you haven't been, I would say feel free to do that more, because that is one of your talents. So that is the reading for pile number 2. Alright, so for pile number 3, you got premonition as your secret or hidden gift. So that might be something that you don't really tell people if you're aware. Excuse me, please, I think I might be getting a cold, but yeah, to have the gift of premonition would probably be tough, because you know things ahead of time. To know things ahead of time would probably be tough for most people, especially if you try to tell people things and they don't always understand or maybe believe you, or it could be hard to tell which one are you certain about and which thing are you not certain about that you absolutely know. And you might want to use it to be helpful to others, but if that hasn't worked out for you in the past, that can make things a lot harder on you. So yeah, the gift of premonition, that is your gift. And we will pull a chakra card, one of the ways it manifests. The Divine Feminine. The frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all creation. So you might be a very feminine, submissive type of person, or just a more submissive type of person, and then having this gift and not always knowing what to do with it, and feeling an interconnectedness with everything, everywhere, all the time, because you know things happening other places sometimes, even if your gift is strong enough, especially when someone's younger. If they have that gift, it can be a really hard thing to get a handle on, and it can be really difficult, and people might think you're weird, or you're just doing weird things or saying weird things. But it's that's one of the harder ones to have, and especially out of all the other ones, just being more lighthearted things. But you could really, you know, help others with that gift if you know how to do it the right way. Sometimes we help others with our gift, but we don't get anything, it feels like, in return necessarily. But some things maybe are karma, and good things and safety will come your way too if you're able to do that. And if not, don't push yourself as you get older. I mean, the things that you might be having premonitions about, it's not like you can go and save the world, so there'll be minor things here and there maybe. It just depends. But that's quite the gift to have. And for your 2 little leaves, these aren't super important, these are just from the game thing, but fruit, maybe you need to eat more fruit, or the fruits of the spirit maybe. And mode of transport. So mode of transport, that makes me think of like astral travel in a way. or like knowing things in other places, but in being fruitful. It's okay to be fruitful. It's okay to have wisdom. Someone that, especially if you're not younger and you have the gift of premonition, it's definitely something that makes you grow up fast and gain wisdom quickly. So we will see one way you can use your gift. And you got the 6 of coins, charity and help. So you can try and use your gift in a charitable way if you have a premonition about something important and you try to let people know, or even if you tell other people, especially if it's something big, and ask them to go tell other people that are important, powerful people. Especially when you're younger, if you try to do that a lot, some people do that maybe, and some people don't. I don't know, and it doesn't always work out in their favor. But if you do sense something like something's off with someone else, or you want to try and be helpful, or you just find yourself in their presence and you try to tell them something, sometimes that can be helpful too. And they may understand, or they may not want to believe or completely understand you, but that in itself is trying to be helpful. So pile number 3 is the gift of premonition, and that is your secret or hidden gift. And we will move on to pile number 4. So for pile number 4, we got art. So you might be really good at painting and drawing, and you may not practice enough, or you may have done it in the past but figured you can't make a living out of it, or maybe you have made a living out of it, which would be very lucky for you, or whatever it is. It's more of a secret or hidden gift, so maybe it's something you just don't spend enough time on that you would still like to spend time on, and you would like to get more to spending time on that, since it's more of a secret or hidden. So it may not be your main one, or just maybe one that you like to pass the time with, type of thing. So we'll pick your card and see. It says miracle. The frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. So the whole anything is possible, like I was saying, making a living out of it or whatever. I mean, if it is something that you're actually good at and something you kind of put to the wayside because you're doing other things, maybe if you practice at it more, you could make a living out of it, or make beautiful things. Art itself is a beautiful thing. Everyone likes art. It's just absolutely beautiful to look at. Maybe you could be you know, a great artist one day, or you are so good at your art you just haven't put it out in the world. Maybe if you put your art out into the world, a miracle will happen for you. And for your 2 little cards that aren't that important, I just picked them off there because they're from a game thing that says vegetable and landmark. So that makes me think of like paintings or photos, or like a painting of vegetables and a photo of a landmark, or a painting or something like that. Landmark and vegetable, maybe those are important to you, and your secret talent is art. And then we will go through the way you can bring that into the world, and it says happiness and success. So that would probably make you happy to share your art, since it is more of a secret gift or talent that you have. Maybe to share it more with the world is something that would bring happiness to the world and to you, or bring you success. And you could see success in that. Maybe just bring out old art that you had, or work more on the art that you had. Maybe you're better at that than you realize, and it's more of a secret gift or a hidden gift that you're not completely aware of, or you might be somewhat aware of, you just haven't shared it with other people, and that would be a great thing to do. And it would be like a miracle for you, and maybe even a great thing for other people too. Art is, like I said, a beautiful thing that expresses life and is beautiful to look at. So whatever the art is, I'm sure yours is great, and I would say work at it more, or get back into it. Or you may not even be aware that you're that great of an artist, but maybe you, whatever it is, because there's a lot of different art forms, maybe there's one that you're just really good at that you should get back to, that you haven't done in a long time or tried. And that's all I will have to say for pile number 4.